I'm Martin Meneses, and I'm going to start with the 3 things that I've been doing in the last 14 years to make money. The first one is about info products. You create a course, a video course, an audio course, a membership, that kind of things that you are showing people your expertise, right? They have a problem and you help to solve it, right? That's the thing. And even you can do it with a PDF, right? Because 14 years ago, PDFs were really booming, right? So that's one way. Then you have affiliate marketing. And affiliate marketing is a way to promote other people's product, right? Let's say that you are good at generating traffic, right? You know how to make ads, you know how to make videos, for example, but you don't have a product. Then you can partner with a course creator, for example, and it's something like, hey, if I give you traffic and when people buy, then you're gonna give me a commission from that sale. For example, 50%, 70%. There's people that almost make like 90% of the commission, right? So that's really powerful because you don't have to create the product, you don't have to make support, you don't have to do pretty much anything but send traffic to that person, right? Or you can be a freelancer. If you're a funnel builder, if you're a copywriter, you are good making ads, then you can sell your services to another person, right? And there is coaching also, people that helps in a more direct manner, not only with a course, but they help in a one-on-one type of business. For example, I help you do anything, so I'll review your things and give you feedback, for example, right? That's pretty much about coaching. And that's the 4 ways I know to make money. I know there's e-commerce, you can talk about cryptocurrencies, you can talk about trading, but that's the 4 that I know, right? So let's start with the mentality you need to do this, because if you are someone like me, because I started when I was at high school, I was 16 or 17, I don't remember, and my question was, how can I make money online? Because I had a girlfriend and I wanted to make money to buy cool things and have fun with her, right? Like on vacation and things like that. And when I started searching for anything, I found the sales page for an expert that, I think it's still online in the Latin market. And he told about this way to create a product and just put it out on the internet, and people with a problem would buy it, right? Like a PDF. If you can't sleep, then I have an ebook that shows you how to sleep. And I was like, oh wow, this is incredible, because you can reach millions of people on the internet, and that's really awesome, right? So at the moment I didn't have a credit card, so I couldn't start my own business. So after that I started researching the market, researching all the information I can, because even when I didn't have a credit card, I tried to do as much as I could. And when I get to the 20s, then I received my first credit card. So I started to make like a lot of things. Like I knew about affiliate marketing, I knew about creating your course, and I thought maybe affiliate marketing is the best thing to start. So in this moment we reached the first problem, and that is to pick what you are gonna do. Because in my case, for example, at this moment I could build funnels for coaches, I can be an affiliate for something, I can create a channel, a YouTube channel for something. But if I'm doing this, then all of my attention and focus will split, and my effort will be pretty low for each one of the activities. So you have to choose between what you are good at and your passions, right? If your passion is what you do really good, then you have something really awesome, because you can focus on that. But for someone like me, I entered to this business because I wanted to make more money. I didn't have an special skill, for example, like to help in relationships, or I knew about anything else, right? I just knew that I wanted to make money, okay? So in the process of making that, I learned a lot about sales funnels, copywriting, design, automations. So I became a sales funnel expert. But if you are good at helping people with fitness, for example, then you should focus on that. If you are good at something, if you are really skilled and can give results, then focus on that. Because even if your passion is other thing, if you are really good at delivering results, then that thing could become your business. You don't need that your passion to become your business, because if you're making a good business and make money and can spend all of that money in your hobbies, then you could spend your money in your passion like a hobby and not necessarily as business, right? I tried to do this many times, believe me, a lot of times, because I'm really good at making sales funnels, right? But I wanted also to be a coach. I entered this business by the idea of become a coach, right? Of selling my own courses. And I became a funnel builder, and that's a problem, right? So pick your niche good, with good like passion, but also think about the benefits, because the niche you pick, it's gonna put the bar in how much money you can make. It's not the same to sell personal development advice, to sell entrepreneurship or Airbnb things, because if the people can see easily the ROI of something, it's easier for them to invest on that. You can sell more easily a product about making money instead of a product of personal development. As much as I love personal development, it's really easier to sell something like an Airbnb course, for example. Last year I worked with a coach on Airbnb, and we were selling a high ticket program for 20K easily, really easily. Now try to sell that same program in the personal development space. It's really damn difficult, right? So be careful with that. Pick your passion, but also keep in mind that the market and the activity you make, it's gonna determine how easy you are making business, okay? So what can you expect of all of this digital entrepreneurship, right? You can expect almost anything. I know people that reaches success pretty easily, and there's people like me that in 14 years I haven't made my my first $1 million, right? So it's gonna depend on your abilities in this moment, because it's like a bridge. Like Alex Hormozi says, you need to build a bridge that allows you to be where you are at this moment and your goal. You have to learn about personal development, your own mindset, about copywriting, developing offers, funnels, sales, ads, organic traffic, how to manage teams. You have to learn about a lot of things, and each piece of that bridge gives in order, right? If you can learn to make an offer, right, to make traffic by organic traffic, for example, like YouTube videos, and you can learn to sell with those three, you can make like a lot of money. But if you want to escalate further than that, you're gonna learn to make ads or funnels or something like that, okay? So it's like a ladder you're building to reach the next level. But if it happens like me, that I was like, I learned about affiliate marketing, but I'm not reaching the results I need. Maybe I should learn how to make a good logo, a good page. And then I just started to look for a course in design. And then I was like, oh, but if I know how to make a good video, then my results would be better. So I started to learn about photography and that kind of stuff, and I started to learn a lot of things that really didn't help me to build the ladder. So don't do that, because you are making a lot of mistakes in that process. Focus on the basics, and then you can keep going on that, because it's gonna be difficult. It's not easy. Yeah, for some people it's gonna be easier, but don't expect that. It's like when you're going to the gym and you end up like all sore and you feel bad, then expect that every time. Right? Because most funnels just flop on the first time, but you have to optimize all of that things. We're gonna talk about that later. So what's the key factors on the mindset that you have to do? Because I've learned about this. many mistakes, and the first one I have to say is focus. Because if you are like, oh, this is not good for me, I'm doing affiliate marketing for a month and I'm not getting any commissions, then I'm gonna try another thing, and that's really a problem. Okay, you have to wait the necessary time for you to make results, right? Optimizing things, doing things better. And another thing, it's like, oh, maybe I have some time. What if I create a course of mine and also trying to be an affiliate on that market, right? You are splitting your focus, you are splitting your energy, and it's the best for you to take just one thing and put all your effort in, really. Because one of the things I did at the beginning was learn a method about affiliate marketing that was create like a mini blog and position it in Google, right? So people enter to your mini site and they see a couple of blog posts, and then they go to your affiliate link and purchase the program you are promoting, right? So I purchased 20 domains, and I tried to do a blog on every one of the domains, and I did like one, and that was all, because that amount of work like overwhelmed me. And also I learned about another strategy, so I left the work on the domains and started doing another thing. Right? So please don't do that. Focus on one thing at a time, do it good, and then move forward to another thing, or optimize the thing you have, right? Because it's not about making a lot of things, it's about of having one thing that works really, really well. For example, there's funnels that make millions of dollars a year, and just one funnel. You just need one thing to work really, really good to make a good investment on that and a good ROI, right? And that's the way of the Ikigai, like improving with each time you're doing things, because you have to do your copy better, your videos better. Every time you are making something, try to do it better. Because if you are like making a bunch of the same thing, you are not gonna get better, and your results really are not going to improve. I've seen it a lot of times. Really. I made like tens of offers just trying to do the same thing, and that doesn't work out really. You have to keep improving each time. That's why I recommend to have one funnel, and if you are trying to make it better all the time, then your funnel at some point it's gonna be like the best one in your niche, right? The best one in your market. If you keep optimizing your product, it's gonna be the best product in the whole market, right? Don't try to make like a lot of things. That's really important. And be always aim for success, right? If you are going with fear, believe me, you are not going to make it. You have to go with the mentality of achieving success. I have a friend, Gus Sevilla, who told me a lesson in one event we encountered of Frank Ernst, right? So he told something like, yeah, in the army, they teach us the mentality of we have to succeed on the mission. We have to accomplish the mission. So if you are making something, then you have to accomplish that mission. There's no other way around. There's not like failure. You have to succeed. So go with that mentality. If you need to improve at something, then you do that. If you have to make a lot of times, like 100 calls, right? You have to do that. Don't go like looking for shortcuts. You have to do the things you need to succeed, okay? So another thing that it comes from mentality is to take away the things that leave you behind, right? For example, in my case, one of the things that gave me with a lot of problems was the drinking. I did it a lot. Really, I had a problem. So I was irresponsible. I did a lot of bad things doing that. Okay, so all of the focus you are making to be bad at something, it's gonna have some repercussions in your life and in your business. So please, if you have bad habits, please let them behind, because you can do 10 times as much as you are doing right now with bad habits, right? So keep those things behind you. I know it's difficult to leave bad habits behind, but you can do that, okay? You know, for example, if you have problems with drinking, there's an grace. Or for example, if you have problems smoking, there's I don't know, you have to find a solution for that. For example, smoking takes a lot of your energy each day, so that's another thing you have to leave behind, right? Also, you have to do the right things, because even if you leave the things that doesn't help you, you still need to do the things you need to do to have success, right? If you are not drinking or smoking, you eat well, you are sleeping, you are not making any bad behavior at all, but you are just like in meditation all the time, guess what? You're not making money. You still have to do the sales, you still have to deliver results. So keep that in mind, okay? So now let's talk about mentors, because if you are doing this, if you are making the digital business thing, you're gonna need some coach, some mentors, right? People that helps you to achieve a result, because I was one of the of the dumb guys that tried to do everything by himself, to learn the skill and then apply it. Yeah, I become good at almost everything, but yeah, 14 years and I still don't make my first million. So imagine that. But if you have a coach, they can help you. He can help you to make a lot of things easier. For example, right now I have a coach that helps me to be a better funnel builder, right? And he is helping me to make better cold outreach, like a better salesman, to make sales, right? Because that was an ability and a skill that I didn't have at the moment. But right now I'm working towards it and I'm making it better, right? So that's something that you need. But you have to keep in mind that it doesn't matter what you do, how much you try to keep to find the best mentor for you, you're gonna be like scammed in some way, right? Because there's a lot of people that is full of lies, okay? Even if it seems that they have a lot of testimonials, a great result, like a fancy award or something like that, there's gonna be people that still with that isn't gonna help you, right? Being there, don't ask me, because it's complicated, but it's gonna happen. There's people that is gonna take your money and won't deliver a result for you, right? But that doesn't have to upset you, right? Because it happens and you have to be prepared for that. But there is a coach, there's people that will gonna help you, because the world, the industry also have nice people, good people that are really good at what they do, right? So be careful with that. Gurus are like entering and going off the market because the opportunity is there, right? And the market by itself just kick off the people that isn't really good at this. Because if you are ripping people off, then another people, it's gonna tell, right? You're talking, people talk about. So in some period of time, you will see how a guru just disappear, right? Because he wasn't that good at all, right? So follow the best, follow the people that keeps like a really long time in the market, because those are the people that, even though they are not like the best, like the Alex Hormozzi of this season, for example, but they are consistent. They have a business. They are making results for years, right? They dominate the basics, okay? So follow the people that it's still in the market after a lot of time, because they are good, but also follow the people that is trending, because they both can teach you a lot of lessons, right? The important thing is that you know how to differentiate each one of the reals from the fakes, and it's that from like your own mind, right? You feel that. You feel when people is for real and when you have to distrust, right? So you have to feel it and trust that feeling, okay? And also you have to buy the thing you need and not what you want, even though it sounds sexy, right? If you need to learn how to make ads, then buy a course from that. But first try to do that. Try to do your first like ads, something like that. And if they just flop, if you are suck at it, then you then try to find a person that helps you, right? You can learn, or you can just hire someone who is really good at, but it's on your budget, okay? At the beginning, maybe you have to learn, but focus on the things that really matter, okay? Not just the things that sound sexy, like this new method or something like that, right? So that's really, really, really important. And I really recommend you that you have a one-on-one coaching, right? Even if you have to invest like $10,000 in someone who keeps you like in the path, who gives you feedback, do it, please. It's the easier way to make a result, okay? So keep that in mind. And always keep learning, like read books, listen to podcasts, watch YouTube videos, okay? Because mostly in books you can find like all the framework of an expert. In her courses or in their courses, you can find like the step by step, but it's the same framework. You can find like 90% of the method of that person in a book. So keep reading, because books are really, really amazing on that. So let's talk about how to sell. The first one is that you have to be creative, because to sell your courses, to sell to be an affiliate, sell your coaching program, it's not like only funnels are the only way to make sales. For example, that friend, Gus Sevilla, he once told me about he was using like flyers to sell an affiliate promotion, an info product. And it's like something weird in this market, because most coaches told you that you have to make a bridge page, like an advertorial or something like that, and then you lead them to the vendors page, right? And that's good. But there's like another way. Always try to be creative. Don't be limited on the thing you know, right? Because the only thing that you need to sell something is like find a person that has a problem, make them know about your solution to that problem, and charge for it, right? To deliver. That's the only 4 things you need. If you can make like a lot of things to make that happen, you just need to be creative, okay? Do what it's best for you and not what like all the market says it's, because yeah, it can happen. But if you are following the advice of one coach, then please follow their advice. Don't try to implement something that is not comprobated. Okay. So the another thing, or keeping this in mind, funnels are like the best way I know to make sales, right? Because I'm a funnel builder, and you have 2 kinds of sales funnels. You have evergreen. It's like automated. So a person enters, the system do their magic, and that's pretty much it. And you have live promotions like launches, challenges, webinars, something like that, okay? A live event is better than an evergreen one because you are live, you are interacting in live, right? So it's easier for you to sell in a live event. Keep that in mind. But it's a lot more stressful, requires a lot more work, and it's like a little difficult to optimize, okay? So in a live event, you have to do all the promotion to test another thing. And in an evergreen one, if you are making like, if you have ads going through that promotion, for example, and you need to optimize the webinar, it's just a video, right? You record a new video, put it in the funnel, and you start to see the new results. As simple as that. In an live promotion, you have to do all the registration process, do the webinar, and try to do almost the same to optimize. But at the beginning, live is good because you are making like practice, you are making webinars, you are making challenges, you learn about people, so that's really cool. Okay, so lives are good at the beginning, but if you want to optimize later and be a lot less stressful, then an evergreen promotion is really good. You can start by evergreen, but you need a lot more skills at copywriting, at persuasion, and a better offer, right? You just need to be a lot more better to make evergreen work, okay? Also, there's people like doesn't use funnels, right? Because it's technical, it's too advanced, they're not as good as in copy or building pages or in design or something like that. So this is most likely for coaches, okay? So you give a lot of value and ask people to DM you, and then you sell your program, right? That's a sell through DM, and that works, but at some point it's gonna take a lot of time, right? Because you have to do all the sales, and also if you have an audience, there's a point where you need to find a lot of more audience to keep growing, because you have to make audience really a fan of yours, right? Like hot audience, okay? So that's a good way to do that if you don't want to complicate it with sales funnels and copy and that kind of stuff, right? You just need to be good at making content and talking with people and with sales, okay? So in this moment, I want to talk to you about the 3 levels of your audience, because you're gonna have these 3 kind of audiences. Cold audience is people that are starting to discovering you, like they have seen like 4 to 5 posts from you. They don't know about your history, your offers, your brand, your values, anything, right? They're at the beginning, and that's like 90% of your audience. They may have seen like some post or are following you from a long time, but the algorithm hide your post from them because they don't interact with some post and you keep in the dark, right? That could happen, but that's cold audience, people that doesn't know pretty much anything about you. Then you're gonna have warm audience, and warm audience is people that already likes you. They are willing to invest some kind of money in you because they like you, right? They're not like your best friend, you're not like the best in the market for them, but you are good, okay? So then we have hot audience, and hot audience is people that already like you, they trust you, they want to work with you, they are like this close to become a client. They are the ones that send you a DM if you ask for it. So if you have these three kind of audiences, you're gonna have to create a strategy to reach each one of them, because most coaches just talk about hot audience and try to make posts to elevate cold audience into hot audience. It doesn't matter if it takes like 6 months, they try to do that, okay? But in my honest advice, you have to create a strategy for each one of them. For example, to cold audience, you create content like posts, YouTube videos, podcasts, reels, things like that, okay? That grows your audience, but also keeps your current audience engaged, okay? Knowing about you. But there's also this kind of content that elevates them easier than just content. For example, a free challenge, a webinar, something like that, okay? So you should have a strategy for cold audience like the post and challenges or webinars, a lead magnet even, if you will. And then for warm audience, you can sell a course because they want to invest something with you, okay? You give them the frameworks. You can make also events, because an event is really, really good to give people a little push into hot audience and sell them like a high ticket coaching program, right? So you have to sell something good. If you want to make an event, you can do that, okay? Because when they become hot audience, they can purchase a really cool thing from you. And even that, you have to give them a way to purchase that thing in an easier way than just send me a DM and I'll give you all the details, right? Something like an application funnel, because there's people that is ready to buy now, and there's people that after watching your course or being in your event, for example, they need a way to become a high-ticket coaching client. Maybe they need more accountability or want more access from you, or they really want to get the result as fast as possible, right? So you can talk about them, okay? So now let's talk about the branding versus ads, because that's like the two main sources of traffic, right? You can have affiliates, or you can ask for referrals. That's another one. But your organic content and your ads are like the main ones. Okay, so the organic traffic, really, really powerful, free, because it needs a lot of time. Almost every day, every week, you have to make content so people keeps engaged with you, so you can reach more audience, right? So it takes a lot of time and a lot of investment in gear, like the camera, the mic, the lights, the things like that, in persons that, for example, a video editor, a BA, for example, that helps you, or someone who helps you to create ideas, or a copywriter. It can be as complicated as you want, but you can do it by yourself. My advice to do this is like, just focus on one, right? Focus on one source. For example, I love YouTube. That's why I'm doing this video. So focus on one and keep growing. Focus on building that audience that it's gonna make your business in some future, right? Because you can just be something of value, create your authority, and make things really better. And for people to notice you, it's not only because of you make content, right? You have to make something. There's three ways for me to be relevant in social media. One is that you have made something amazing. For example, Alex Hormozi made $100 million with his company, right? That's amazing. That's why he has the authority to talk about pretty much about anything in business, right? The other one is that you prove you are good through consistency, right? If you are talking about fitness, then you can show up your physique, right? You talk about the exercises, your diet, you show your physique, and then that way you demonstrate that. And the other one is to keep consistency, but through your journey. For example, if I'm not in good shape, but I want to be good at fitness, then I show all the process I've been through to get to a result. Obviously, I try to be helpful, but I'm in the journey, right? That's the three ways. All three require consistency. But yeah, if you're an authority, you don't need as much as consistency, right? And you have to work by the rules of the social media you are in. Because in YouTube, for example, you need to do a video with good retention, right? If people goes, then your video is not working. You have to make a video that calls attention, that has a good thumbnail, because if people doesn't click in your video, then your video isn't good, right? So you have to learn the rules of the game for each platform. So work by them, with them, right? Because YouTube wants to make money. So help them to make money, help them to make people watch videos and being as long as possible in the platform, right? That's your objective. So work with that, okay? So with that, thing is different. You can make results on just day one, because you can turn on an ad, the traffic starts going through your funnel, and you make money. That's the different thing. With social media, you can just ask for DMs to sell something, right? With ads, you can't do that anymore. You have to make funnels. You need a system in place to convert the people that enters through funnels into business, into money, because you need to replace the money you're spending on ads with the money your customers give in exchange for your solution. So you need funnels to make ads work. It doesn't matter what kind of funnel, you need a funnel, okay? A system that converts people into clients, okay? So it can be good from day one, but most likely it won't, right? Remember, if you don't have an offer that is like, yeah, this is sure, this is comprobated, this works, then you're gonna have to make changes. You have to optimize your ads, you're going to optimize your copy, your funnel, your offer, your everything, right? You need to do things as good as possible for them to work, okay? So ads needs a lot of work also, because you need to understand how to make good ads. It's better for you to hire someone who is really good at managing ads, because it's not easy, for example, to invest, let's say $100, and then you have to spend $5,000. It's really not the same skills, right? So you need someone that can help you at each stage to have a good audience and create configure the ads in the better way, right? So keep that in mind. But I suggest you to do both of them, especially organic traffic. If you can make an audience organically, then you have a business for life, right? If you stop making ads one day, then you have to find another source of ads, for example, right? So you can do both. But in my personal experience, start doing your personal brand, start making content, and please don't stop doing that, because if you stop, then you are becoming irrelevant each day. So keep doing your content and make your audience happy all the time, right? So if you want to build a funnel, then what you need to do, right? So in order to make a good funnel, you need a correct structure, right? It doesn't matter if you try to make a page that doesn't have any sense, just because you want to have a page, right? And the best way to learn how to make a structure for a sales funnel is with this book. You don't need pretty much anything else. In this book, you will find all the structures you need to make a funnel. Okay, I leave you the link below or something like that, so you can buy this. Let's see an example of a funnel. For example, these summit funnels. You need a registration page, and you need the pages with the replace, for example, and that's it. So it gives you the structure. You need a headline, a video, a call to action, the details about the people invited in your summit, and call to action, right? You need that. Also, please find the best pages in your market, your niche, and in the experts, right? So you can find something like, oh, in this section it goes a headline, a subheadline, a video, a button with these details, and below that you can put bullets like that, and you have to make paragraphs in small, not just like a bunch of text that like a book, for example. Or you try to find how these sections work, right? And keep doing that, because it's easier for you to work by that structure, right? A webinar registration page, for example, has at the beginning the headline, the details, the button, and a video or a photo of the coach, for example. Below that is like the components, like what you're gonna learn in the webinar. Like you're gonna learn this, and that. Like 4 things, the 3 secrets, and the thing you're gonna sell at the end. And below that you can put something like your information, your photo in the left, and a headline, I'm Martin Meneses, and below that like a little biography of you. And below that you have to put a call to action, right? The headline and a button, and that's it, right? You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to be creative, to make something new. You have to follow the structure, and that's it. A funnel, a webinar funnel, for example, needs a registration page, a webinar page, an order form, and the thank you page, right? You need those 4 things. You don't need pretty much anything else, right? Maybe a replay page, just to differentiate the persons that are just entering to the webinar and the ones that see the replay, and that's it. You don't need anything else, right? And in this book is like the structure for these pages, right? So follow the structure. Don't try to be creative. Don't try to make like a lot more things. Follow this, and then when you have something good, then you can make something else, right? You can add your own special sauce, right? But at the beginning, please do the right structure. Also, it's better for your funnel if you focus on a problem. You can, mostly in the personal development space, is something like, yeah, I will help you to connect your soul with your inner thoughts so you can achieve your next level of results. And that's like, okay, that sounds cool, but I don't get it, right? You don't get a real result from that. It's easier for you to point a problem and connect it with a solution you can deliver, right? Because they are looking for a solution for something. Yeah, for example, if you're looking for a solution with acne, for example, you can't sleep, you are like getting a divorce from your wife or something like that, you're looking for a solution for that, right? And if I tell you that I have the solution for that, then you're like, oh, okay, let me know about that. Right? So connect a problem with a solution, and that's gonna be things like a lot easier for you. Okay, now they have the problem and you're gonna help them. But what's the way you're going to help them? Then you need a right offer, a good offer. And please, this is really, really, really important. There was a time when I tried to sell courses, but my offers were something like, yeah, I don't want to do like a lot of job. I don't want to record a bunch of videos. I don't want to do coaching sessions. I don't want to do anything of that. So I just want to deliver like the very least I can so people buy, right? And I try to do a great design, good copy, fancy automations, but that doesn't serve because the offer wasn't good, right? If you don't have a good offer, a good way for them to achieve the solution, then they're not gonna buy. Doesn't matter, you have everything else perfect, they are not going to buy, okay? Especially if you don't have the authority or reputation. If there's cold traffic coming from ads and you don't have a really good offer, you are not making money, right? They are not buying from you because they don't know you, and if you don't have a good offer, unless they are like desperate and they don't know anyone else who have the solution, they're going to buy. But if there's options, then and they don't know you, you're not gonna sell. You need a good offer that makes them like, yeah, that sounds amazing. Give it to me. I don't need to know anything else. Give it to me, right? Here's my money. Have a kind of offer as good as that, okay? And then we can work in the copy, because the copy is what enables people to know about you. It's the communication. It makes all the work for they can take a decision, right? So you just need a clear message. You don't need fancy words. You don't need like to be the super copywriter. At the beginning, just be clear. Don't be like the professional guy, just be clear, okay? So I'm going to share with you my tips on becoming a better copywriter, if you want to hear that, but just have a message clear. Don't try to be fancy, as the example I shared with the personal development. Just try to be clear with this is what I have, like Frank Kern says, this is what I have, this is what will do for you, and this is what you have to do next, okay? As simple as that. But as I told you, keep the structures right. If this section says you're gonna talk about something, so about emotions or the pains or something like that, then please talk about that, okay? So the next component is to have a clear design, because there's people that tries to make it to look good and it doesn't look good, or it's like too crowded, or yeah, just try to keep some spaces, a clean design. Remember, see other funnels to know how it should look. to like the spacing, like the size of the headlines, how many lines should have a paragraph, and yeah, that kind of things, okay? So it looks clean, even if you are not making like a background that amazing, but if the text is easy to read, then you are pretty much good, okay? So the last thing is that your page has to load really, really fast. If you're making ads, especially, because people just go, if you put like a super background in the first section of your page, it's gonna delay the load of your page, so people will go off because they bored really quickly, right? So try that. You can optimize your pages, your images in tinypng.com, for example, right? So optimize your pages, optimize your images, your videos, because your page must load really fast, especially if you are making ads. I promise you that's really important. And lastly, if you want to be a coach, a course creator, if you want to build a business of something, please don't become a funnel builder, because it was like me, right? I just started without a skill, and I learned everything I could about funnels, digital business, copywriting, everything. So I ended up as a funnel builder, and that's a mistake that most people do. They enter in like the 30-day challenge of Russell Brunson, right? And they become good at making funnels, but their funnels didn't work because they don't have enough skills to make it work, right? So they try to learn everything about funnels and end up being funnel builders instead of coaches, right? So please don't try to do that. Don't just be working on the things you need. Remember, for example, a webinar funnel has 4 pages. Try to optimize those pages, and that's it. A clean design, just black and white, white background, black text with a bigger headline, and your video, and that's it, right? You don't need to do a lot more than that. Maybe an image of yours and making a good video, but the design of the pages can be as simple as that. Okay, don't try to make something like really awesome, because the main issue, as I told you, is the correct structure. You have a problem and a solution, and you make a good offer, right? And a clear copy. That's it. You can make a lot with that things. Also, if you have a mentor that helps you, he will tell you the truth about this and their method, and can give you feedback. Okay, don't overcomplicate that. Just follow their instructions. Make this simple, but focusing on what really matters. Okay, so let's continue. Obviously, I need some bullets to know what to do next, because that's a lot of topics that I have to share with you. So where to build a funnel, because you have, for example, ClickFunnels and Go High Level. That's like the main two at this moment, right? ClickFunnels 2.0. I don't have a lot of experience with that, because most of my clients were using ClickFunnels Classic. I'm really good at ClickFunnels Classic, and it made everything I needed. So in the moment I entered to this market, I started to build in Go High Level. Even before that, I started doing things with Go High Level, but at this moment, I'm not doing anything with ClickFunnels. Okay, so I don't know if ClickFunnels at this moment has a few glitches, because before it was like glitchy as you want to be. There was a lot of problems in that platform. You don't have it was pretty difficult to do a lot of things. Maybe that's not the case anymore, but Go High Level, it's a good builder. I wanted to just go with ClickFunnels, but because Russell has taught me a lot of what I do. Most of the successes I had in my life, it's because of Russell Brunson. So it hurts to me to need another solution instead of ClickFunnels. But Go High Level, it can do everything. But the problem with Go High Level is that it's really not user friendly. It took me months to figure out how it works, to build something good, because it also has glitches. For example, I had many issues in the email delivery rate in making people to receive their access to the membership area. That's a lot of problem. That was like a year ago, and it requires me to do a lot of support because people can't enter to the membership area. So that's really painful. Okay, if you want the easier one, then go with ClickFunnels. If you want the almighty but not user friendly, go with the high level. Okay, and I know that System.io, I think, is really user friendly. Then you can use that as well. So it depends of your needs. For example, in the Latin market, there's a builder called greatpages.com. Okay, that's from Brazil, right? It's not even for the Latin market because they speak Portuguese, right? And Latin speak Spanish. So that platform is really good at search speed because their pages load like really fast. Okay, so that's their advantage. So if you are making like a live launch, like a challenge, then that helps you because you are making a lot through ads and pages charge quickly and you make more money, right? But it's not user friendly at all also. So you have to go through your needs. At the beginning, you may use ClickFunnels, right? Or System, because even it's free at some point. But as you keep growing and escalating, you will need things more complicated, okay? So it depends of your needs. So how to see if your offer is good, right? Because your offer is the thing that people buy. It doesn't matter if your registration page has a good conversion rate if the people goes to your webinar, gets to the end, and then doesn't buy, right? You need a good offer, and the way to assure that you have a good offer is, in my experience, with a webinar. If you make a webinar as simple as you want, but if you make it and people buy your product, then you have something good and you can escalate from that. You can make like challenges, you can make an evergreen funnel, you can do something like that. But if your offer won't sell, then you can go further on, right? Because it doesn't matter if all of your funnel is good. If your offer won't sell, then you're not making money. So my favorite way to know if an offer is good is to make a webinar. Do a live webinar this week. If the offer sells, you're good, you can make more money, right? If the offer won't sell, then you can improve your offer and make another webinar. And if the offer sells, then you're good. You can go up with more ads, more content, or anything like that. But if the offer doesn't work, then you improve the offer again, and that's it, right? You keep making a better something. Okay, so a webinar is my best, a live webinar. Okay, so how to fix a funnel that isn't achieving the results you want? And for that, I suggest you to identify the stages of the funnel. For example, you have ads or organic traffic, right? You have the registration page. If we talk about a webinar, registration page, then you have the webinar, then you have the order form, and then you have the thank you page. So what is failing? If, for example, your ads have a really low CTA, like 0.1 CTR, okay, then you have to optimize your ads, right? Because really few people is coming to the registration page. So optimize your ads. Okay, now what happens if your conversion rate of your registration page is 3%? Then you have to work on this page, right? Because if people doesn't register to your webinar, they won't see your webinar page. Okay, let's see that your ads are fine, your registration page is like a 50%, and now people are entering to the webinar and they don't see the webinar. They go like in less than a minute. Then you have to optimize the beginning of the webinar, right? Talk about a new hook, a new promise for the webinar. You can deliver something at the end, like I'm gonna give you this swipe file with a lot of examples if you made it to the end, right? That's a way for them to get to the end. Okay, what about if they don't purchase? Then you can improve your offer or improve your pitch, the two of them, right? You can first the offer, right? Because a really good offer with a pitch, it's gonna sell. So try to make a good offer. And then if you just start to see sales, but it's not as good as they could be, then improve your pitch. And that's it. You don't have to complicate anything else. You don't have to be like, oh, I need a new logo. Oh, I need new slides. Oh, I need a new camera for me to look good on the webinar. Oh, I need... No. Just keep improving at each stage of the funnel. Each stage at a time, because if you change many things at once, then you don't know what serves and what is like failing. Okay, so each thing at a time, each component, each phase, each headline, just one thing on the funnel at a time. Repeat and repeat after that until you have a profitable sales funnel. Okay, so in the case that you don't want to do a funnel, right? You want DMs, then you have to build a personal brand, right? Yeah, and make contacts, make relationships with people. And I'm not the very expert in this because, as I told you, I'm a sales funnel expert, but I'm going to say you the thing that I'm doing right now. In my case, as I am a sales funnel builder and I'm looking to build sales funnels for coaches, my audience is in Facebook, right? In groups, posting things in their profiles, things like that. So I'm in Facebook. So I post content trying to grow my personal brand, making relationships, commenting on posts from other people, commenting on groups, and you can get to more people, because if you just post in your profile but not making any new friends, then no one is gonna see your thing. You have to keep adding friends, you have to comment on groups so more people sees it, right? So you make connections. Okay, so reach more people doing that, commenting, sharing stuff, commenting on groups, posting on groups. That way you become relevant. Okay, people see that you are sharing value. Okay, and then what I do is cold outreach, right? Because Alex Hormozzi said it's fine, and that's a way to elevate your results faster, because I can make a lot of cold outreach, right? I determine how much I'm doing, but with organic reach, I'm just waiting for people to reach into my DM to tell me, hey man, what you do? I need funnels, right? So you control the narrative, you control the way you approach people. So obviously not many people likes it, but if you arrive giving help, if you arrive giving like value, then you can do something good of it, right? And then if they are willing to, for example, I offer a review of their funnel, right? So I am like, oh, this is bad, this could be better, things like that, this is good, and this is my strategy. If you want to implement that, you can do it by yourself. If you want my help, I can do that. I can build the sales funnel, the design, the copywriting, automations, everything in less than 30 days. 3 funnels, less than 30 days. Okay? So people is like, oh, it's helpful, thanks, I don't need your services, and bye. Others people like, oh yeah, that looks amazing, let's work together. And that's it. Everything with respect and giving value, because I'm really trying to give them information that serves them to make a good business. So you can do that, and you can ask for DMs also. If you have the audience, you have to grow your audience to do that. So you have those options, okay? And also you can build a community. You can build something like a group. You share a lot of content, you make DMs, and in that DMs you can say something like, hey, I have a nice group that does that, and if you join, then you find this lead magnet, for example, right? I'm planning to do my own community, and my lead magnet is the notes on all of the videos of Alex Hormozzi, the long videos, right? It's more like 300. Well, I have notes on everything. I missed the new ones, but I'm going to finish that, so that will be like my community lead magnet, right? You can do that, and then in that community you can sell your coaching program in the same way as, hey, send me a DM if you are interested in this. But in your group you have like more power, more authority. That's the two ways I know to do sales without a sales funnel, for example. Okay, so the next thing is to learn how to do copy, right? After 14 years is like a lot of things that I know. Even though I'm like missing some things, because really you started to know a lot of things, right? But okay, copy. And my advice on this is that you keep one methodology, because there's like a lot and all of them work. But let me reach my book. For example, this is the one I have in my desk next to me, because it is great. For example, you can buy this book. It has everything you need to know about copy, right? And keep this methodology, because there's people that has another one and everything works, but maybe one is good for you. That's with the time. At the beginning, just focus on one, but later, if you are really good, really into copy, you can discover that there's a lot of ways to do copy. Keep one methodology, don't complicate it, okay? And then my next advice is, because I don't know how to sound salesy, for example, and you don't need to do that. But it helps there's a way to write these things, and the way to learn that after knowing the structure for that is to read things that follow that structure. For example, funnels, really good funnels, the ones from Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi and Russell Brunson, for example, right? Good funnels. The funnels in your niche, on your market, from the authorities in your market. You can see the way they talk about the pains of your audience, the benefits, that kind of stuff, right? So you can learn the way it's written. And also, there's like magic pieces in the world of direct response marketing or copywriting. You can write down these pieces, and you will start to understand the magic between the words they write and the results they deliver, the way they make people think, and the emotions they arouse in with these words, right? Because they arouse curiosity, they arouse the need. So do that, and you will have you will start to develop good copy. Also, you have to practice. This is not something like, I did it once and now I can do it anytime I want. You have to sharpen your pencil. You have to keep improving, keep doing reps. You can do post in text, you can do in Twitter, you can transcribe the pieces of good copywriters in each day, right? Because copywriting is a great ability. If you are good with copy and have an audience, you can do many things, right? A copy can sell through you. For example, you don't need to close every person by a phone call. Copy can do that. So if you learn how to do copy, you can sell a lot of things in an automated way, because a sales page doesn't get tired. If you make a good copy, that copy could make millions for you, right? So practice and don't overcomplicate it. So now let's talk about sales. Right now, sales, like, yeah, I'm calling you to sell you something. And that's also another skill you can use to live forever, right? If you are good at sales, you can sell anything. And that's really, really important. I'm not the best salesman, you know. I'm really bad at times I'm good. And that's because the context is everything, okay? If they come to your door and they're like, hey, my friend told me you're really good at sales funnels, and I want I want you to work for me and build my funnels, then I have the power, you know? I'm like, oh yeah, what's your needs? What's the thing? Yeah, I can do that. That it's X amount of money, right? It's easier. I'm I didn't lose any of that calls, right? But what if you are like, hey, let's go into a Zoom call and we discuss the details of your project, like your current situation, your goals, and the best strategy to get there. Okay, so if they came to your door and they are like, well, what are you selling, right? What is in it for me? Then you have to do the process, you have to know their pains, you have to do your research, you have to talk about your offer in a special way, you have to be really, really confident on what you're selling is really good. You need skills, bro. If you are selling something, you need skills. If people is like, yeah, I need you don't need so much skills, right? But the thing that I know is that if you have trust, if you really have confidence in your skills, your abilities, then it's going to be like a lot different, right? Also, if people has like the control of the conversation, it's gonna be really, really difficult for you to make a sale. You have to be the manager of the content of that call, because if you ask the questions, if they are like qualifying themselves, then it's easier. But if they are like if they have the power, you lose the sale. Yeah, most likely. So be careful with that. And also, please don't do coaching calls for free, right? Because there's people that is like, hey, I want to work with you, but I want to do a Zoom call. Can we meet? You're like, oh yeah. And they start like asking you every issue their business have. For example, in my case, and I'm like, yeah, you can do that, you can fix that, this could be a lot better. And they're like, oh yeah, we will call you. And that's it. And that's people that mostly it's really demanding, right? And they're not buying from you. So you don't, the discovery sale, the discovery call is for you to know if they are a good fit for your program, right? To know their pains, to let them know about your offer so they can buy. And then you help them. But if you try to help them in the call, you're not going to sell. Believe me, that's that's really, really important. You have to point the things that they have an issue, but not helping in the same call, okay? Promise me that you're not going to do that, okay? So something that helps us in with a client is that they have a BA to qualify the people, right? Something like a settler, but not quite like it. For example, it was like, hey, we want to confirm your appointment, so your answer in your budget was this amount of money. Is that true? Yeah, sure, that's my budget to make a business on that. And it's like, okay, so you're gonna talk with the expert at that time, so please be in a quiet place so you don't get interrupted, because there's people that calls in the car while they are driving, so please don't do that. And that's pretty much about it, right? That's also something that can help you. Other thing is that the expert only talked with the people that says they have like good money to invest, right? And the people that was really on the price point of the program, they talked with a BA, right? So you can do that by yourself or with a BA if you want to make some time for you, right? Now, let's talk about follow-up, because follow-up is another thing that is really, really important with a business. If you don't do follow-up, then you're gonna miss a lot of sales, because like mostly 2 to 5% of the people that reaches your funnel is ready to buy at this moment. Everyone else is going to buy a week later, a month later, 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later. So you have to do following. You have to keep doing the relationship so they can buy when they are ready, right? Emails are powerful. SMS are really, really powerful also. It's good for something like, hey, the webinar is starting right now, and SMS is really, really good. So use them in the special moments you need. It's not like you are doing all of your follow-up through SMS, okay? So they are expensive, but worth it for that kind of events, right? And try to do an email at least one day yes, one day no, one day yes, one day no, okay? Like every 2 days, it's a good amount of emails you can send. Don't try to sell on every email, because people is like, oh, it's again another pitch, right? Try to develop a relationship to get value, and you can sell also, but not all the time and not that hard, because people just start to ignore you. For example, I work with an expert that makes a launch, like a PLF, product launch formula launch. That's from Jeff Walker. Challenge launches are from Pedro Dow, but PLF are from Jeff Walker. Really, really old, like 20 years old system that works, okay? So a PLF launch every month. It's a lot of work, and the expert mailed all of their database with the same thing each month. Hey, register to my new event. Hey, register to my new event. Hey, register. Oh, now we are in class 1. Go join. Hey, we are starting. Go join. Every month is the same thing. So their list is like, yeah, I don't want to know anything about you. Even if they don't unsubscribe because they don't know how to do that, they're like, oh yeah, it's always the same event, the same thing, the same emails, right? So they start ignore, right? Don't do that. Keep a relationship. Don't try to squeeze your list every time. Also, about being salesy all the time. I have another client that was like, hey, we have to make a lot of money, man. We have to make money, bro, all the time. I don't care about engagement. We have to sell, bro. You have to sell. And every time they keep looking at their engagement, it was lower and lower and lower and lower and lower, and sales become less and less and less and less, because people isn't dumb, right? They know you are trying to squeeze them. And even if they're your fans, it came a moment like, hey, I'm tired of you. Hey, bro, you only want money. And yeah. So when that happens, the only way you have is to try to get new audience and make new sales, right? But reaching more audience becomes each time expensive. You need more money, right? and it's a lot more difficult to convert that audience into your clients. So if you take care of your audience, you can sell them by all your life, right? But take care, don't try to take advantage of them. Really, that's really, really, really important. Okay, so don't do that. Don't try to squeeze your audience each time you make a post, each time you make something, or making like an event each month. Yeah, you can do that, but do not annoy all of your database with that same event. If they registered, good, then you give the content about the event, right? If they won't register, then you don't talk about, hey, we're in the first class, hey, we're in the second class, and we are now selling our program, and that kind. You respect that, and just give them value. And when they are ready to join to the monthly challenge, they will be ready, right? So your list is really, really important. Don't burn it like that. Okay, so next aspect of digital businesses, because this is not like I'm the lonely wolf and I don't need from anyone. You need to make contacts, right? And the way I did it, for example, in the Latin market, because that was I was the most of the time I did business online. So first one is that I did my own product launches, right? My own live product launches. So I asked for affiliates. So I reached some experts in niche, and I was like, hey, I'm going to do a live launch in this date. Please promote me. And they were like, yeah, cool, no problem. And they sent me traffic in exchange of a commission. And I did a lot of good friends, really great experts. Right now, each one of us took different ways, but they're friends. We are friends. We can share a message in any occasion, right? And that's really, really important. If you make affiliates, try to reach good people, right? People that is a little up of your level, and you'll be fine. People at your own same level, it's gonna be like, I don't know, I'm doing my own stuff. I don't have time. I'm too busy. I have a lot of clients. I don't have time. Yeah. But people a little further on the road that has more experience, they will be like, okay, cool, man, no problem, if you are doing something good, right? The events are also great to do connections, right? You go with a friend to an event, right? And that friend, for example, can meet someone else, and you meet it in that event, or you can talk with strangers and things like that, okay? You have to do that because you can learn a lot from those persons. Also, try to keep the 100 dream list that Russell talks, because you will know which people are the ones that you should reach, right? And not asking like, hey, help me on my business, right? What's your secret? But try to be like, hey man, it's cool, I respect you a lot, you're awesome, and that's it, right? Don't talk about like, hey, you're in a mastermind with this expert or something like that. Yeah, you are just like friends sharing something, and that's it, right? Don't try to make something weird of the situation. Okay, so that's a really good way. In courses, you can meet people. If you are really good, if you enter like in a coaching program or a course, if you talk a lot in the community, you give value, ask questions, that kind of stuff, people notice, right? An expert notice. So you can start knowing people just by being helpful in the community of that course, right? You can do that also. And keep in touch, because if you make friend of someone and you don't talk to him in like 2 years, and in a moment you are like, oh, he can help me. Hey bro, how you doing? Do you have this thing? It's like, Hey, you don't talk to me in 2 years and now you want something? Not cool. So give it a message, something like that, share something valuable, and that's it. Keep the relationship. And that's something that will help you a lot and give you a lot of insight, because your experience will be limited by your own experience, right? But they are solving like their own problems with a different mental process, with a different coach. So their solution might be something that you need, right? So keep that in mind. Or in my case, I was with really, really bad financial problems, and by having friends in that in my space, they were like, "Hey man, I need help with my funnels. You can help me," and that's something as well, right? Really, really important to have good connections, a good network in the business. So let's talk about reaching new audience, growing your social media, and the first thing I want to recommend you is to choose the platform you like the most, because each platform has their own rules, and that's why you have to keep improving them, right? It's not just like, oh, let's gonna post some content and that's it. Because, for example, in the Latin market, I try to help people quit drinking, right? Stop drinking alcohol. And I made about 500 videos, right? The channel is out there right now. It's live because it shares a lot of value and it's helping people with this problem, right? But it's not like, oh, I had like a ton of subscribers, right? It has, at this moment, I think it's 4,700 subscribers, okay? But 500 videos. So it's not just post, but do things well, okay? So let's start with Facebook. And Facebook has their own rules. For example, you have to optimize your profile, make a good cover, have a nice picture of you, and optimize your details like the intro you have, post also your link in that section. So when you're posting content, I recommend to do that daily, because you are reaching new audiences, you are reaching your people. And so when they see something that it really attracts them, they go into your profile and see all the details they need to know, because your profile is also like a sales funnel by itself, but you are taking them to another page, right? Because if you have a link in your intro, then they can go into your funnel and know the details of what you're offering, right? So post daily, because that way you can start interact with people, you give value, and they will take action when they are ready. Also, make stories. You can make that same post into a story, so people has more ways to know about you, because not so many people do stories in Facebook, at least. But if you are posting them, then not only you have the post you shared, but also have the story for them to see, right? Then comment on others people's posts, because you are making relationships. Maybe those people, even if they're your friends, they are not seeing your post. But if you go and comment on their stuff, then it's more likely for them to go to your post and leave their comments as well. You keep building relationship, and that way both grow. Also, keep growing on groups. You can post on groups, you can make a lot of content, good value. And by the way, comment on other people's posts in groups, right? Because if you're a coach, for example, and you keep adding value, then people will see that you are an expert. And if you have an optimized profile with a link to your funnel, then they could go into your funnel and not only become a friend, but they also can become a client. So that's really, really important. Also, keep adding new friends, right? But not some random guy that doesn't know, or they have like to post from 3 years ago, but people that are like valuable for you. For example, potential leads, persons that you want to share with, like other experts on their niche, and you keep growing your network that way, so you have a good audience for them, so you can post content that really helps them and they can become your clients. Because if you just add people randomly, then you're not gonna get as good leads as you should. Okay, so that's from Facebook. In YouTube I have a lot more experience because, as I told you, I post like 500 videos, right? And a lot more because I had another channel that was called Martin Meneses in the Latin market that has really didn't go well with that channel because I wasn't good at it. You have to do the reps necessary. It's not only to talk about any stuff on the camera, but you have to follow some rules, right? So for YouTube, the most important thing is the idea. If your idea isn't good, then it doesn't matter how good is the thumbnail or your video by itself, but people are not gonna be interested. When they enter into the homepage of YouTube, they're gonna see some videos, right? And for your video to have success, you have to go above all of the other videos in that homepage, so you become the election. For example, if Mr. Beast posts a new video and your video is right next to it, then what's the reason for your audience and people in general to choose your video over the one that Mr. Beast just recorded? Okay, so you have to make a good thumbnail for them to click on your video. It doesn't matter that your video is very, very well written or have a good editing, a good everything, right? Such amount of value if they are not clicking on them. So besides your big idea, you're gonna have a good thumbnail for them to click on it. Also, the headline, the title of your video must arouse curiosity for them to engage and click that, because the thumbnail attracts the attention, but the headline makes them click on it. So you have to do something really good at it. For thumbnails, I recommend that if you are not a designer, then look for a thumbnail designer. For example, on Twitter, there's a lot of them. They're really good, and they are like 100 each thumbnail if you want a really good thumbnail, right? So that's something you can do. Or you can learn a lot of design and you can make something like not as good as they could be, right? For the headline, the title of the video, you can go to creatorhooks.com. That's by Jake. I don't remember their full name, but it's by Jake and it's creatorhooks.com, right? And he has a really good newsletter that each week he sends you like the 10 titles that had more succeed on that week, right? So you can model the structures for your own videos, right? It's like hundreds of hooks that he has compiled in his newsletter. Okay, so that's something that you can do. And if your video is not quite good, then people, as soon as they enter to your video, they're gonna leave, right? So it's important that your video is well spoken, good written. You don't need like the charisma or someone like, I don't know, Alex Omosi or Mr. Beast by itself. You just need to do with your own voice, because there's people that will resonate with you even more than any other expert. So keep real, but keep fluently, right? If you talk about your stuff with a clear message and elegance, I know, my spoken English is pretty bad, but I'm still learning. I'm still practicing, because you need the practice to to like nail another language. I can write copywriting in English very well, but because I have the time, right? I can go to my doc and I can like correct the misspells I have. But in this scenario, I can do that. It's just my mind talking, right? So it's practice, and it will happen to you at the beginning. You just need to develop that practice to talk to the camera, to the lens, not the other way, not other things, but through the lens of your camera, so you can make the connection with your audience through your eyes, okay? So that's really, really important, okay? And about the editing, yeah, you don't need like the fanciest editing like Mr. Beast style or something like that. You just need to get to the right audience. And that's something that it's pretty difficult, because as soon as you post a video, YouTube try to reach an audience that connects with your video, right? But if YouTube doesn't have the data or something like that, your video, if talk about fitness, could be shown by people that are most interested in video games, for example. So people that likes video games is not gonna click on the fitness video, right? So YouTube is like, yeah, they're not clicking on this video, it doesn't help us, right? And your video keeps hidden, right? But if YouTube manage to reach the audience that likes your video, that really want to see that, then you are keep growing your views until YouTube reaches a new audience. And if that audience keeps looking at your video, then it grows to a new level of audience, and it keeps growing until the moment that it doesn't, right? That's the way videos work on YouTube, right? You need to have a good hook so people keep watching it with a new audience broader, okay? So don't edit like Mr. Beast. At least if you are making like educational content, that you should cut your arms, things like that, and make your message as clear as possible. It doesn't need to be as long as possible. Yeah, I know this video is about all the things I learned over the 14 years, but that's the idea, right? It's not like I just want to make the longest video possible. If I want to talk about YouTube like for 1 hour, it's not gonna help. Needs to be as consumable as possible, okay? And optimize the description of your video, because in that section it goes like your call to action, the link to your funnel or your profile or your community, but also it helps to put a description that talks about the things you are talking about your video, right? So you make like SEO work for your video to stand up a little bit, right? Like that's the really important thing with YouTube, and each step has its own complication, because once I talked with a person that was like, hey, I made YouTube videos and I don't know how it could be better, right? And I was like, seriously, your thumbnail is like the best, like Mr. Beast level? And he was like, no. And that's it. You can improve that, right? And obviously you can't expect that your video reaches like 1 million views, because your niche is different. Educational content doesn't get as much views as an entertainment one, so you need to understand the limitations of your market. But the people that watches educational content, obviously the niche is important. For example, it's not the same financial stuff as personal development stuff, but your numbers will be different, for example, and compared with an entertainment channel, okay? So the first thing that you have to understand in this game is that you have to be consistent. The only way, it's like, for example, there's a guy named James Yanni. Okay, James Yanni has like, I don't know, 20 videos at the most, and has like 1 million and something subscribers, because their videos are really, 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 really good. Like the editing is awesome. It takes him like, I don't know, 6 months to make one video. So that's really important. If your video is great, it's gonna have success. Probably because, as I mentioned, YouTube has to find your audience, and if it doesn't find it, then there's no people reaching your video, right? But with a few really good videos, you can make like a lot of views and subscribers. But if that's not your case, then you have to be consistent. Make a good video a week, for example, and that's really, really good. That's a good pacing to reach your audience and keep improving your own game. Yeah, because with my channel with 500 videos, I try to post daily, right? For like a year I post daily, and my videos were not so good. My thumbnails really not a big deal. So you can't expect to grow really a lot by making videos that are not the best, right? So a video a week is good to make a good script, a good editing, a good thumbnail, a good idea, so you can post it, right? But be consistent and try to improve in each opportunity, because as I said, just post by post is gonna, that they're not making you grow as it should be, right? And now I want to talk about the other side of the things I work in this career, right? And it's by being a freelancer, because last 7 years I'm being a freelancer, right? I did the thing with the alcohol channel and some things that I tried by myself, but my work was building funnels, okay? And I want to share with you this advice, and it's like, don't join a team, right? Don't be part of a team. And that's because it's better to work by project. That way, you are most valued, you can charge more, and you can be perceived as an expert. Because being an employee, you are exchanging the safety by time and money, because they will pay you less, and they expect you'll be working all day. Right? Not all people expect you are like 8 hours working on their stuff, but they expect to be at the moment they need you. Okay, so that's really complicated, and my experience is that it's better for you to keep building your clients, your list, your things, your personal brand, instead of just be hide in a team. Okay, you're gonna make a lot more money if you're a freelancer. So you're gonna find a lot of people in this, right? If you're working with people in this manner, you're gonna find experts and peers, right? Colleagues, people that is the coach, and people that is like the Facebook ads guy, the social media manager, the designer, the video editor, and that kind of thing. Okay, so expert gonna be your boss, and the other ones your colleagues. Okay, so in this like business, there's a lot of gossip. Even between experts, you can find that, oh, that people scam their subscribers by doing something like that. Oh, that people told me that he's gonna do this, but they really are going to do that. Or they're saying like they're good people, but they really are not a good people, right? There's a lot of gossip in this media. Or if you're a freelancer, it's not difficult for your expert to talk bad things about you, so they block you from their network. Okay, things like that, it happened. Really, it happened. Or people that wants to take advantage of you, or want you to quit your work for them to be at your level, your position, and gain more money, right? That also happens in this industry. So keep a nice reputation, and please don't engage with gossip, because that is just problematic. You will be in a lot of troubles and it messes up with your mindset. So please stay away from gossips and that kind of thing, please. And you have to work on the places that you are most valued. For example, it's not the same to be a funnel builder in the Latin market as in this market, in the English market. And it's not the same to work with people in the, I don't know, real estate business as in the personal development business, because the pricing are different, their methods are different, they're most conscious about that solution instead of yours, that kind of thing. For example, in the Latin market, a funnel is most likely something that costs $2,000, right? And for me to charge $2,000 for a funnel in the Latin market, I should be like the genius, like with good referrals, with great authority, and something like that. And in this market, I can charge $2,000 without any of that, right? So be on the place that people value you the most, okay? Even your function, because in the Latin market, I, as a funnel builder, I'm seen like the tech guy, the guy that only knows about automations and to build pages on ClickFunnels, and that's it. You don't know about strategy because you are the tech guy. And in the English market, we know that we are good at strategy. That's our thing. That's where we shine. And in the Latin market, that is not the thing. Okay, so be in the place that they value the most, and you can charge as most as possible, because your time and your knowledge, it's worth it. So be in that place. Don't be in places that you are not, they don't have a good perception of what you do. Okay, so in the market, you're gonna find bad people, good people that can pay you, and good people that can't afford to pay you, right? So be strategic with that, because you may need some money, right? And at the beginning, you have to work maybe with bad people to build your portfolio, experience, something like that. But it's a place that I don't recommend you to stay, because they are going to betray you. They are going to let you off. They won't respect your prices. They try to pay you as little as possible, and they gonna feel that they own all of your time, right? So keep distance of these people. At the first sign, just go, bro. Just go and get another client. And as I told you, there's people that is good but can't pay you, right? And you can help them, but obviously your time is valuable. So be in the place where you can do the most, right? Because you also have a life. If you have a family, you have to give them the best, and you can be that one if you are getting underpriced. So be in the place where you need. If you are with a good person in a good place and you like it, and you are not making as much as you could in another place, maybe it's okay. It depends on you. But my perception is that if you have a family, if you have your own needs, you have to do the best things by yourself, right? For you and your family. So keep that in mind, right? So let's talk about the other thing, and is don't believe in everything they promise, right? Because they can promise you that they're going to help you, that you'll have a nice place to work, that they're gonna care of you, but in many times they won't. Because they have their own needs, they have their own business. They will prioritize their business, their family, and them by over you. And because they have to keep promises to other colleagues in the team and things like that. So in most cases, they will betray your confidence and your promises by their own sake, right? I know there's people that will follow the promises, but there's like a tiny percentage, because remember, most people will work for their benefit and not by yours. They're not like a non-profit, they're not charity, they're not something like that. It's a business, and you have to understand that it's their business, not yours, right? So keep that in mind, and also think about you and not the others. Yeah, you can help, you can be useful, you can understand, you can do a lot of things, and please be the nice guy, be a good guy, but not the way that they can take advantage of you always, because that happened to me a lot, and I could be in a much better position by now if I had this advice in time. Okay, so let's talk about being a funnel builder. So now I'm a funnel builder. Maybe you have the desire of be a funnel builder, right? So I'm gonna show you the things you have to learn to be a good funnel builder, right? First thing is design, right? The first thing people is gonna hire you is by making their pages looking good. Okay, so try to copy, as it sounds, copy really good designs, right? So you can understand how they manage the spaces, how they do backgrounds, how they do the fonts, how they do the styles, that kind of thing. So in that practice, you will become better. That's really, really important. I recommend you to go search Ghost and Son. I leave you the link below, because he's the best at showing you how to be a funnel builder, right? But you need to learn to do design, you need to learn to do copy, you need to learn the strategy, and for that Russell Brunson is like your best option. So start following Russell Brunson, start following Ghost and Son, and have, as I told you, a method of copywriting. Yes, I know there's AI, you have ChatGPT, but yeah, ChatGPT is not the genius. It's not like the solution to all the problems, because you need to understand good copy. You have to know what makes good copy, and if the copy is good. So you can leverage the power of ChatGPT. I do, but first you have to understand copywriting. Okay, you have to learn about automations, and that's not difficult. You really need to understand how things are made of, because there's, for example, many platforms, but all they do almost the same. You just need to understand how they work, right? So this requires practice. If you are like a programmer or something like that, it should be easier for you. If you're not someone with that knowledge, then it's just a matter of time and doing things, and not being like, oh, I failed because I couldn't integrate this. Yeah, you have to do that, bro. You have to make the practice and achieve the result. Also, you have tech support by the platform. So if you don't find the solution, just go ask them, and they will make a solution for you, right? So it's that simple. Practice and ask, right? There's a lot of platforms, community groups that you can also ask something. In the community of Ghosten, for example, you can ask for a solution of a tech problem you have, okay? So what else? Builders, funnel builders, just it's the same thing, the same principle. All work by modules. You drag some element into the page, and they will be different in the way you can manipulate them, but it's pretty much the same. Also, you can make some effects, fancy effects by CSS. Also, Ghostens has like a resource, a really large resource of CSS that you can implement on your pages. So it's not quite difficult by that. And yeah, you have to learn some software, for example, Canva or Photoshop. I suggest you to really learn how to use that, because you can make like a lot of things cool things like photos, backgrounds, and each kind of thing. Ghosted has modules to show you how to work with that. But if you really want to be good at design, then you have to learn how to use those tools properly. So find a good Photoshop course, for example, and just practice with that. Okay, and you'll be good. I did it and I'm not regretting that decision. Okay, also you need to learn about email marketing, and that's not quite difficult. You just need to understand that there's like sequences that are specific for each need. Okay, so you just need to learn the objective of that sequence in order to make the proper emails, and obviously practice doing copy, right? Because it's not the same the sequence of a webinar funnel than a tripwire funnel of a same field sequence that is like post almost every day until the end of times. So each one has their objective, and you just need to work towards that objective and articulate your copy to make that happen. Okay, so that's what I recommend. Go follow Russell Brunson, Ghost and Sons, and practice a lot. Okay, you're gonna have to make connections on Facebook, for example. It's a good way, but also Ghosten giving you a really good framework to get your first clients on that. You will require practice. Okay, for example, I made many $1 million for my clients, and yeah, if you don't have branding in your market, it's gonna be difficult to have clients, because I may be a well hidden secret in the funnel building world, because I have no presence in this English market right now. In Latin market, yes, I can find a client, but as I told you, they're gonna pay me a lot less than this market. So you just need to build your portfolio, build testimonials, and that way you're gonna get in clients easily. They will referral from you. And also, that's another thing on being a freelancer. There's people that will recommend you, and there's people that won't recommend you at all, because they don't want to lose your focus on them. So please be careful with that. Okay, so let's go into the worst mistakes I ever done in digital businesses, because I made a lot. Really, any kind of mistake, it's probably made by me also, right? So, worst mistakes. Try to do a morning routine so you can keep the best of you each day. Because a morning routine, yeah, it's cool, but it's not gonna help you to work. Many times you end up tired. So what I do now, and it works really good for me, is that I start work as soon as possible. And when I'm getting tired, yeah, I go to walk with my dog, I do exercise or do something. But as soon as I finish that, I come back to work, right? So just work, do the things you need, because as I told you, it doesn't matter if you are like in the illumination state, you don't have any bad habits, but if you're not making the things that make results, then you're not going to make results. It doesn't matter that you have your journaling, but if you're not making the things you need to make in order to get success or clients, you're not gonna have any results, right? Bad habits, they are bad. Drinking and stronger things than that are make your life impossible. Yeah, you can make it. Yeah, if you have a right offer, the good communication, the traffic, yeah, you can make it. But if you really want to grow and not having anything that stops you, then please don't do bad habits. You're gonna be a lot better if you don't have anything that like an anchor having you in the same place. Environment, relationships, habits, or even goals, right? Because in that time I was like, yeah, I don't want to work a lot because I want to have free time so I can go to drink, right? So that's really problematic. Then want to learn about everything, want to be a master at everything. You don't need that. You just need to learn the fundamentals. For example, if you're a coach, you just need to learn the fundamentals of copy, design, on funnels, that kind of thing, because that way you can understand, you can tell if something is good, if your employee is doing something good. But if you don't have the knowledge of that, then anyone can just like, hey, this is good, man. Here's my copy. So it's $5,000, and you're like, oh yeah, here's have your money, right? No, you need to learn the fundamentals so you can keep growing, right? But you don't need to specialize on that. You don't need like a course on everything so you can have a business. Okay, that's really, really important. Also, a mistake that I did in some time is like copy the things that others do, right? Or copy the funnels, or copy the structures as it the script as they is. You have to learn the structure and the way it can communicate the message, right? The things that are making that have success, but not copying them, because you're not having like the same skill set or the same tools or the same audience or the same niche. You have to adapt things to you and your business, right? So just learn the structures. Why is this good? And then try to implement with your own words, with your own design, with your own point of view, right? Because if you are just copying, it's not the same. Your skill set is different. For example, if someone has really good abilities to make lives, if you try to do the same and you are not as good as them, then you're gonna have different results, and that will frustrate you, right? So follow your own path, your own abilities, and make the things that work for you, okay? Another thing is to jump between opportunities. Like once I do trading, I did MLM, multi-level, I did coaching, I create courses, I was an affiliate, I was a funnel builder, I was a launch manager, I was like a lot. If I were a course creator as I started 13 years ago, my life would be different. If I keep doing my YouTube channel for a longer period of time, my life would be different. If I started being a funnel builder as a freelancer and not as part of a team in this market, my life would be completely different. So stay on one opportunity, adapt it, keep optimizing, but not change your market or change the way you do everything, right? It will just you are just starting from zero each time you are making it, and you will need a new set of skills. So just keep on the same line and keep improving, because there's many ways to make money, many ways to do business. As I told you, be creative. There's a ton of ways. So just stay focused, okay? Your market determines your reach, your growth, for example. But you can make a good living in almost any market that is validated, right? You just need a good offer and keep building on top of that, right? Also, don't think that copywriting is gonna be the thing that's going to sell your business. Design isn't it also. Fancy automations, also not the thing, because I did that. I have pages with good design, good copy, and fancy automations, but without a good offer, then it's gonna flop. It's gonna fail. You need a good offer and the clear communication, a good niche. If you have that, if you have a problem and a solution with a good offer, then you can make a lot. But if you think that the design, the funnels, the automations, the copy with a bad offer is everything, that it's not going to solve your problems. Because if you want to sell a bad offer, you will need a perfect script of copywriting to sell that thing. And it's gonna be difficult to sell. And each time you are making like a new audience, reaching with your ads, it's gonna be a lot more difficult. So have a nice offer, have a nice market, a good message, and that will follow the rest, right? So don't confuse the things that will make results. If you fail your promises, you're gonna have a bad time. At the beginning, you can tell that it's no problem, but if you keep doing that, your audience will lose the trust in you by a lot. It will make you a lot of problems, and you're going to miss your business, right? You're gonna lose it, because your audience is everything, your trust is everything, your authority, the trust that they can have in you is everything. For example, when I had my problems with drinking, I lost the confidence of my audience, of my clients, of my friends, of my colleagues. At this day, five years after that, after I drink for last time, there's still a lot of people that thinks of me as the guy who drinks a lot in Paris, right? So keep your promises and your perception. Okay, that's really, really important. Don't try to be the guy that makes the less amount of work as possible, because you need to do things well. Don't need the things more complicated, because that was also my mistake, but try to do the things right, the things you need in the proper way. That's gonna solve a lot of problems. And don't have a bad offer, as I told you. Please don't have a bad offer. And lastly, don't try to be the guy that it's always available, always helping you, because there's a lot of people that will take advantage of you, that will take what they need from you, and they're not becoming a client. For example, like I told you, if you go to a discovery call, don't convert them in a coaching call, right? Put your rules, your limits, and follow them, because if they really want your offer, the thing that your offer solves, they have to pay. They have to respect your time and your knowledge, right? It's not only that they can take anything from you as whenever they want. Go to the description if you want to work with me, because right now I'm making funnels. I'm doing the sales funnel strategy, like the whole system, but in the future, maybe I will make a coaching program. So the thing that I'm doing right now, it's gonna be in that description. So these are my lessons. That's pretty much that I can remember at this moment. There's a lot of things that I'm missing right now, but I think that that's the most important thing I have to tell you. So have a nice day. Let me know your comments, your opinions, if I have to make something different, anything you want to say, okay? So have a nice day. Thanks for being with me these hours and hopefully see you soon. Bye.